Hello, everyone. It appears that we've come to the end of the course Religion and Popular Culture, and I'm bookending it with images from Constantine, which you may have concluded I really love this film, partly because of the visuals and the way that it depicts theology, but also popular theology and occult and the esoteric, and of course Canu. So I'm using these images to conclude our course. So I just wanted to say that it's been a pleasure. Now, obviously, I would have preferred we could have been in person, but I was pleasantly surprised by how well the discussion boards were working. So that was new for me this year of teaching online, that we can actually have substantive discussions online. So that was interesting, but obviously I hope we're in class in September, this coming September. So I just want to move on to talking a little bit about the final exam and then just some concluding remarks. I'm just going to talk a little bit about the final exam, and if you have any further questions, you can contact me via email. So it's a take-home. It'll be due at 5 p.m. Monday, April 19th, submitted to Blackboard, so you have a full week. And obviously, I'll be available if you have any questions during that time. I want you to write in complete sentences in essay style, so no point form. And the exam will be all short and long essay. And this is to allow you as much space as you need to tell me what you know. So I expect that you will have done all the coursework, all the readings, and have understood the core ideas. I'm also very interested in your own ideas about the material that you've been reading. So following the syllabus, the two overarching themes of the course are, of course, religion and popular culture. So the first key kind of concept is the idea of what is religion. And as we discussed, this is not a simple matter to decide what this is. Scholars argue about it. So what I'm asking is that you have some sense of these arguments that we have discussed in the course, and also what is popular culture. And so we'll be looking at some of the theories around that. Also, I want you to have an understanding based on your textbook on page 11, so the four relationships between religion and popular culture. So religion in popular culture and religion, popular culture as religion, religion and popular culture in dialogue. So the textbook is set up according to this kind of larger scheme of these intersections between religion and popular culture. For my money, the key theorist in the area of popular culture remains Marshall McLuhan. Now, if you had a different professor, you'd probably be given different theorists, so that's just how it works in the academy, but I don't think anyone's going to argue with me that Marshall McLuhan is a central figure in the theory of popular culture. So, in fact, a lot of his ideas have only been proven in the years that have followed. So this great Canadian philosopher developed the whole idea that the most famous phrase we associate with him is the medium is the message. So the idea that how we take in information shapes how we understand that information. So watching TV is very different than going to a temple or a church, for instance. And accessing religion as an app is a very different experience than reading a book. And so we're just seeing that as popular culture evolves, that this, in fact, is being proven, that it reshapes even our consciousness. I mean, we know that the internet has contributed to the shortening of attention spans for a lot of people. So I want you to be familiar with his idea. Also, the idea that popular culture creates what he calls a global village. I don't think it is quite as utopian as he perhaps thought it would be, but certainly we know that people in Africa and people in England and people in Canada can be watching the same TikTok video clip. Now, how they understand that clip is obviously going to vary, but without a doubt, we're more connected through technology than ever before. The next theorist that we looked at was Edward Said, the Palestinian-American scholar of English, and he developed his theory of Orientalism. So his book Orientalism is one of the most important books of the 20th century, and it's influenced a wide variety of fields, including South Asian studies and religious studies. And so Said developed this idea of the ways in which the quote-unquote other is portrayed in various media, including painting, books, literature, travel, writing, etc. And so you'll need to go over this section of the course and reread and make sure that you understand this theory, because it's very important in terms of understanding how other cultures are depicted in media. Scholar Jane Naomi lwamura takes this concept of Orientalism and builds on it, and she develops the idea of what she refers to as virtual Orientalism. And so there's a whole chapter in your textbook on the Oriental monk, and so she has a very trenchant criticism of the way that Asian religion and culture is depicted in Western media. And so we also built out into looking at how Muslim religion and tradition is looked at in Western mainstream media, and also Hinduism. So this is a very important part of the theory because she applies it directly to also to the online community. Some of you may have noticed that I had the series Trickster that was made by the CBC on your syllabus, and then we didn't cover it. Well, there's a reason for that. And that is that after the course had started, a whole controversy blew up around the TV series Trickster. And so in some ways, I think it's even more of a teaching point as a result of the controversy. But unfortunately, I decided not to use it. And I want to direct you back to the book itself rather than the TV series until, I haven't even fully looked at it and processed the issues here. So I think it's just safer to for you to read the book. The author, Eden Robinson, was born in Kitimat, Haisla First Nation. Her first book, Traplines, was published in 1991, and Son of a Trickster, which is the first of a planned trilogy, was published in 2017. So the story has been described as a darkly comic coming-of-age story about a 16-year-old who navigates his way through the violent, dysfunctional world of small-town British Columbia. So the book was praised by the Globe and Mail, and it won the Giller Prize in 2017. So as I said, this was originally going to be on your syllabus, the television program based on the series, and I thought it would be a perfect fit. It's even shot here in North Bay, and the story contains elements of traditional Indigenous storytelling and mythology. However, just as the course was beginning, a huge controversy blew up about the director of the series. So it came to light that the director had been misrepresenting her heritage. She had claimed to have Indigenous heritage. And so local Indigenous filmmaker and artist Lindsay Sarrazin, who actually worked on the program in North Bay, had this to say. He said, "I believe that once Michelle's identity controversy came to the forefront, there opened a conversation in regard to the appropriation of the material and the broken trust and relationship between CBC, Michelle, and Eden Robinson." So this has been an ongoing issue. A very similar controversy erupted around the author Joseph Boyden. And given the fraught landscape of Canadian First Nation relationships, both Michelle Latimer and Joseph Boyden claimed Métis identity. This phenomenon has been referred to as race shifting. So the idea of shifting race to claim Indigenous heritage. This is a very, very complex topic. And as I said, I need to look into this fully when I have time. But for the time being, I decided not to use the television series. And as I said, if you're interested in this, I really suggest that you read the book. Here we have an image of Tilda Swinton as the angel Gabriel, and I feel that this expresses the way that the angels keep getting depicted differently depending on the media, but they still are with us. So these religious figures and themes continue. So in this course, I have focused on some particular issues around religion and popular culture. It's a vast topic, so I've had to choose some key issues to look at. One thing is clear is that where there are people, religion follows. So it's no surprise that we see religious and spiritual themes in popular media because they express the concerns of human beings. So a number of you wrote on and participated on the discussion boards discussing the idea of Christmas in popular culture. And this is a good illustration of the larger picture. So for most people, it would appear that popular culture doesn't necessarily replace more traditional forms of religion, but rather is layered on top or mixed in. So this, of course, varies from person to person, family to family, community to community. So for instance, the Amish community completely rejects popular culture, but for most other communities, it's a more nuanced relationship. And also the religious nons, so those people who are not affiliated with a mainline tradition, also have a different relationship with how they take in religious and spiritual ideas. So I've appreciated the many ideas that you presented in your discussions on Blackboard and also in your reflection papers. I hope that this course has helped you to reflect on the forces that are shaping both our ideas about religion and the way in which our society functions. Some key questions that we've been looking at are: who gets to control the narrative regarding religion? Traditionally, that has been often in the hands of clergy, but also we know that there are various folk traditions in all religions. So another question is the medium the message? The idea that how we take in these ideas shapes our understanding of them. How does new technology impact traditional forms of authority? Why do religious themes and figures remain so popular no matter what the medium? So while I expect you to engage with what's been discussed in the lectures and the assigned readings and material, I also want to hear about your conclusions on the final exam. In my opinion, the whole point of university in terms of teaching is to help you to become a critical thinker. And so I look forward to hearing your conclusions about what you've been reading and watching. And I hope that it has contributed to you becoming more critical of media. And so I look forward to hearing what you have to say on the final exam.